Hello everybody, my name is Renee and welcome to the Go Within channel, where I help people to go within themselves to find their own answers. I love this process. Today's life coaching topic is about boundaries. Oh my gosh, do we have some things to talk about. Boundaries are so important, and so many of us have a lot of trouble setting boundaries. There is a lot that I could talk about in regards to boundaries. I mean, books have been written just about boundaries. I'm just going to give you a snapshot of one facet of boundaries. First of all, what are boundaries? Boundaries are really those things that define you, what you like and don't like, what you allow and don't allow, what is okay with you and not okay with you, how you allow yourself to be treated, anything from how you allow people to talk to you, to what color you like, or what favorite food you like. First and foremost, boundaries represent your self-respect and your self-love. And when someone crosses those boundaries, we may know right away that a boundary has been crossed because we feel upset. So if you're ever not sure, well, what are my boundaries? What do I think, or what do I feel about different issues or different behaviors? Your feelings are going to let you know right away that something was just violated. What was it? And what was it about? And what happened? And what do you need to do differently next time, if at all? So first and foremost, if you don't know what your boundaries are, start paying attention to your feelings. And when a situation arises where something does get crossed, although you may not know it immediately, go back and reflect on that situation and try to identify what bothered you about that and what boundary got crossed. And that's one way that you can know what your boundaries are. The next thing I want you to know about boundaries is that they can go two ways. Not only something coming in, a verbal attack, a physical attack, or an insult, it can also go out. It can be a withdrawal. So boundaries can be incoming or outgoing. That means that someone can violate our boundaries by what they say, saying something mean, crossing a line. Maybe we say that we don't allow certain behavior. Someone does it anyway. Someone punching you. Those are all examples of an incoming boundary violation. But then there's the other side that we usually don't hear about that, and that is the outgoing boundary violation. That means someone's usually passive aggressive, pulling away, or abandonment or withdrawal from you. That is also a boundary violation. Someone deciding, oh, you want to set a boundary with me? Well, okay, then the consequence is I withdraw. You can't do that and have me too. Healthy boundaries mean I can have me and have you too. From both people. And sometimes our boundaries are going to conflict. That's not a bad thing. That's just part of relationship, any kind of relationship or friendship. But at some point when that happens, that's an opportunity for a good conversation and good communication about what happened and how do we respect both people's needs and wants. So it doesn't always have to be one person gets their way and one person has to sacrifice their boundaries. When there is a conflict, we can have a discussion. One last thing I want to mention about boundaries is that so often it is not only someone else that violates our boundaries, it is ourselves. We often violate our own boundaries, many times without even realizing it. Maybe we agree to something, we say yes when we really want to say no, or maybe we say no when we really want to say yes. Many times we give of ourselves when we're already overextended and we overcommit, or we allow things to happen because we feel like we can't speak up. And what's happening there is that we abandon ourselves to take care of the other person. We're violating our own boundaries. And then what happens is we feel resentful, and no good follows that. Usually we're angry at the other person, angry at ourselves, and wishing that the situation could happen again so we could respond differently. Never done that. So boundaries are a complex thing and they take practice, and we don't always get it right. We don't always have the perfect response at the right time, and sometimes we're caught off guard, and afterward we're like, oh shoot, I wish I hadn't said that and said this instead. And in hindsight, it seems so crystal clear. But at the time, it kind of caught us and we weren't expecting it. So just to recap, first, identify what your boundaries are. Secondly, realize that boundaries can go two ways: incoming violations and outgoing violations. It can be getting in too close or pulling back, cold shoulder, abandonment. And lastly, don't abandon yourself. Don't violate your own boundaries. Be there for yourself. Be your number one fan, your biggest cheerleader. That's just a little bit about boundaries. I'm sure more videos will come on this topic because there is so much to it. But that's just a little intro, a couple of points about boundaries. I hope that this has helped, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you will help spread the word. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll catch you next time.